Welcome to the 6 for Sixers video podcast edition. I'm your host, Brother Creek, and I just want to break down the game tonight, give you my 6 points from the game. And although I put them in text form on the Facebook page, thought I would also elaborate a little bit on them here. What a historic night. And I probably could have done all six about just the fact that we witnessed history tonight with our leader, our MVP, and really, he might go down as the greatest Sixer of all time, Joel Hans Embiid. What a great night, 70 points. That's my first point. Number one is that Embiid really put to rest any debate. The only thing that they hold over Embiid's head now is the fact that he has missed more games than somebody like Joker or Giannis Antetokounmpo. However, his dominance is just incredible. On nights like tonight, he is virtually unstoppable. No matter what they try to do to him, what kind of defensive schemes they throw at him, and Webby has him, in terms of height, but he was unable to do anything with him. He was just too frail, too thin to stop Embiid, and Embiid bullied him, used his body to get down in the paint, deep in the paint, and make some easy basket. But he was also killing with that mid range as usual. So we always talk about Embiid in terms of passing and passing out of double teams and getting other guys involved. But there are those nights in which there is an exception, and that was tonight. And ironically, if you kept up with the page from 2 nights ago, me and another 6 for Sixer member and co-host on the 6 for Sixer podcast, John Jervy, and I went to the game in Charlotte, and all I could think tonight was, man, why couldn't you have done that Saturday night in Embiid? I mean, I could have been in the house and witnessed a historic night. But, not being selfish, put my ego aside, he did it for the home crowd. And so that was the right way to do it. Surpassed Wilt Chamberlain's record of 68 points. So congratulations to Joel Hans Embiid, definitely MVP of the league. Point number two, Tyrese Maxey. Maxey did not score a whole lot of points as usual, but I've always said all season that we really don't need Maxey to score 30 plus points. Really, a good number for Maxey is between 20 and 25, but he then has to assist. He has to distribute the ball, and he did that tonight. He pumped in 8 assists, and I thought that was instrumental. Now, you could see he yielded to Joel a lot tonight because Joel was having one of those nights. But I think that I like Maxey as a distributor, a ball handler, and a facilitator, even though we know he can score at a high clip. His ability to slash through the lane draws so much attention from the defense that when he does that, there's always the opportunity to kick to Oubre, Harris, for an open jumper. So I felt like he did very well with that tonight. Thought it was awesome. So shout out that's my point number two. Point number three was something I had been calling for since preseason, was for Nick Nurse to play Embiid and Reed at the same time, because I felt that both of them have size and length, but they play a very different game. Whereas Reed is kind of doing the dirty work, rebounding and getting putbacks and so forth, and probably doesn't have the skill set of Joel Embiid. But then Embiid plays more in the mid range and brings the ball up the floor. So Nurse implemented that in his lineup, which I thought was instrumental because it took pressure off Embiid. Reed was guarding Webby for a period of time, and Embiid was just free to score. I would like to see more of Embiid and Reed in the game at the same time, especially against teams like Boston, that, somebody like Al Horford, Reed might be able to take some attention or or some pressure off of Embiid to have to work so hard on the defensive end. My fourth point tonight is Greg Popovich. He tested Webby against Embiid, and he did not pass that test. I mean, Webby had a good game. He had 33 points, and he had some good looks, had some good dunks, and he played a great game, especially for a rookie. But you could see that the toll that it took on him toward the end of the game, because he started shooting a lot of long range jumpers toward the end of the game. And the interior game, the offensive game that he was showing earlier in the game, he kind of abandoned that. Also, Embiid was playing bully ball, so it was hard for Webby to really guard him because size for size, they just don't match up. Webby has some years before he is going to get. I don't know if he'll ever get that type of size of like Embiid has, but I saw that it did have an effect on him toward the end of the game, and he ended up in foul trouble pretty early, which then also affected his defense. These defensive aggressiveness, so wasn't able to be as aggressive on defense. The fifth point, KJ Martin doesn't get a lot of run, doesn't score a lot of points, and I think that he's trying to find his way in on the Philadelphia 76ers. But I see him as athletic, young guy that plays smart, and I think that he has more to offer than we've seen this year so far. But I thought tonight he played pretty well within the offense. Again, when you look at the stats, you might disagree, but I'm not really a stat guy. I really try to analyze how players move on the floor and how they gel with the offense and the defense. And I felt KJ brought some good energy tonight. And the 6 point for tonight is, again, Joel Hans Embiid. Historic night, 70 points. And really, the thing is, it didn't seem like a 4-7. Like I saw when Kobe scored 81. When Kobe scored 81, yes, he was unstoppable, but it was Joel, to me, tonight was special because it didn't even seem like it was intentional until the end, when he was at like 64, 66. It did seem as if the team was intentionally trying to feed him the ball to get him to 70. And that's okay, because if you at 64, 66, then go on and get that 70. But it didn't seem like a forced effort. It didn't seem like he was taking uncharacteristic shots just to get to 70. So hats off to Joel Hans Embiid. Go Sixers and play the song, man. I look forward to what he's going to do. I guess the big question that we all have is that we know that Embiid, we've never seen this, obviously, but we know that he'll have 40 or 50 on nights. But let's just hope that he can stay healthy, and then hope that when the playoffs start, then he can exert this dominance throughout the playoffs. So that is my 6 for tonight. Definitely comment here or comment on the thread. Also, we just started today the 6 for Sixers YouTube page. So I will post a link to the YouTube page, and would be very appreciative if all those listening could subscribe, all the stuff they say, like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications. I don't like every podcast I see says that same thing. So here I am saying it now. But like and subscribe, share with your friends. Also, if you know anybody that is a devout Sixer fan and has constructive things to contribute, please tell them about the 6 for Sixer group, and tell them you do have to answer 2 questions for entry, because we turn away a lot of people because they don't answer the questions. But I think that cuts down on a lot of the riffraff and the nonsense that you might see in other groups, because in our group really has been the most intelligent discussion out of all the groups that I've seen on Facebook, or the ones that I'm a part of. And I am a part of most of them, except for 24/7 Sixers, the Sixers page. I actually got kicked out of that page a few years ago and I never got back in. So peace, everybody. Go Sixers. See you on the next game. Joel Embiid, historic night. I hope you got to see it. But with technology, if you didn't get to see it live, rewind the game back. Go check it out. Peace, everybody. Next game. Go Sixers. Play the song.